Okay, so I'm going to get going. This is Diana Gray. I'm the Community Marketing Manager for the Americas with UiPath. And I'll just give you a little bit of background about DevConnect. So we started DevConnect this year. It basically is the America version of DevCon 2025. It's the first time we've had developer groups in America. So we did two of them. We did one in Austin, Texas in May, and we did another one just last week in San Francisco, in San Francisco. So, what we would like to do moving forward is more of these events so that people can meet and in a community with developers and basically start touching base on some of the UiPath issues around agentic automation and things that you would like to learn about, use cases, how to build, how to use Maestro, all the things that are components of this new technology that we have been announcing over the last couple of months. So let's just get started. Hold on just a second. All right. So today I was supposed to have with me Scott and Zach. I'm not sure if they're joining because there's a little bit of problems with our calendar. But basically, what we're doing now is today is really going to talk about the roadmap for the user group. So I'm going to start with some of the community aspects of the user group. There's going to be iterations of this program, so I'm going to be creating additional events for Scott and Zach to join us, as well as the rest of the Agentic team. I also want to find out from you guys what's important to you, what you want to know about, who you'd like to talk to within UiPath, and things that you may like to work on as a group. This user group will not only be for just meeting with the UiPath technical team, but also trying to work with each other as you build the community in America and network together on things that would help you within your organizations, personally in your careers, and then also just along the path of agentic, what kind of issues can we help you solve for or bring up in conversation? So again, I'm Diana. I'm the community marketing manager. We're going to start today with some of these slides here. So let me get going. All right, so we talked a little bit about some of this at DevConnect, but I'm not sure how many of you were able to join. And certainly there wasn't really an opportunity for you to ask questions. So at this point, you can feel free just to interject if you have any questions about the UiPath community as I go through this, and any thing that you would like to know or have me help with. So we have over 40 developer events per month in the Americas. We have them in 23 different chapters, if not more. And I'm going to show you that on the website in just a minute. We also do a variety of blogs, videos, use cases. This year, we've really had a focus on agentic. So that's been our focus, is to have people in the field, our community, our developer group really build use cases around agentic. If you're interested, we are doing some local events. So if you're interested in having a local event in person in your area, please let me know. Basically, what we do is we bring in people who are versed in agentic and create a workshop there, usually between about 4 hours, for people to go through a workshop, get their hands, wet, kind of using the technology, and then they can answer any questions. And these are our high-level agentic experts who put on these workshops with me. And then other things that we do in the community at UiPath, in addition to that, is we do recognize people in the field who are helping the community through a program called the MVP program. and through automation champion programs. So the MVPs, we have 125 of those globally right now. We have 40 in the United States. 10 or more of those are located in Latin America. We have several in Canada, and then the rest are in the US. And then the other things we also include in our uh, community bucket, if you would, is just learning. So we do a lot with learning here. We have an academic alliance team that really promotes our education, which is free to the universities. They provide a platform, an enterprise platform to the schools, and they also provide discounts on certification. What we as the community team do is we create series of content with our experts in the field. And then as people are going through self-paced learning, we try to have series which bring in experts who can answer questions. We also um, hook up our forum for each one of our series so that people in that series can network together. They can ask each other questions. They can see the questions that are being asked. And then the experts that are teaching that series will answer those questions as part of the forum. So that just kind of brings it full circle into helping you, allowing you to ask questions, allowing you to get the advice directly from the experts, and then succeeding and making sure that you have everything you need in order to finish that curriculum, finish those courses, and then hopefully get either a free certification voucher from us or a discount in order to get certified for those programs as well. So I'm just going to stop there for a second to see if there are any questions on the UiPath community. Okay. Nothing yet. I think we do have Tracy on the call as well, and she is an MVP. So she might be able to answer some questions as well. So again, our community is really vibrant. We have over 3 million users globally. So if you aren't getting an answer that you need in America, when you put something out on the forum, you will definitely get an answer from somebody globally. This is a very collaborative community. We really empower our members to learn and innovate and push things further. So a lot of times there's also things like on the community forum that are contests or challenges or ways that you can get badges. And again, kind of enhance your own career and then also work with others out in the community so that you're either helping them learn or they're helping you learn. That's kind of our strategy. So the things that I think are really important to our developers, in particular, are the programs I mentioned about becoming MVPs. We are really looking for champions in the automation space, especially around agentic. So if this something is something you're interested in, please ask questions. Let's work together on how we can make that happen. We also, just so you know, once a year do an annual automation report on trends. The reason this is important is it's very detailed, the report, and it shows where automation is. But not only that, we have 4 years of these reports. So when you look at them side by side, it really tells a story on where automation is going, how it's trending really. Where are those things that you should look out for, and what are the new things that are coming into play? So what I'm going to do now is just talk a little bit about some of the learning. Um, so the first thing we do when we work with people in the field, and especially developers, is we try to work with you on where your learning journey starts. So for the developer, there's a special segment. We also have other curriculum that you can take. But typically what we like to do is focus on areas that are going to support the developers within the community area. So when you go through, we try to find curriculum paths that have a certification that are attached to it. We think that's really important. And even if you don't get the certification, you do get a credential from UiPath, which is still very important for your LinkedIn profile. So By choosing your certification path, though, first, it's an easy way to just know that you're going down, a path that people have really looked at, have identified the criteria that would map to the exam and all those types of things. So the first thing you would do is choose your path, and then we step in when you try to learn and prepare for the exam. So again, our experts create series, we run them throughout the year. You can ask me if you're interested in a particular learning path, or want us to put one together. Um, we can do that as well. So basically what we do is we do that. We schedule them typically for about 4 weeks. And then you can work to schedule your exam, which is always done through Pearson VUE outside of UiPath. And then you can share your credentials once you've achieved that. So just to let you know a little bit about UiPath and how many certifications we have, this is a small snapshot from about 6 months ago. But currently we're working on an agentic training path as well that has about 9 courses in it and will have its own certification. So this is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. I definitely think it's better to start at the associate level, which is typically what I focus on when starting the series. But we do also provide some series at higher levels if, in fact, this is something you're interested in. So I have done this for the BA professional, but we do have specialists in all of these areas. So any questions about this? Okay. Okay, and then another thing that we do in the community is we have hackathons. So this year, the name of our hackathon is Agent Hack. And if here's a QR code if you're interested in still applying for that. But basically, we give out great prizes. This is a global competition. This one tells what categories you can apply for, and then people with that in UiPath usually judge the winners based on certain criteria that is displayed within the guidelines. And then your opportunity to win, you would present your material in front of the judges as part of the finalist, and then they make the decision to do that. So the other thing we do in the community is we like to get social. And we're very good at this. A lot of our developers, a lot of our people are very active with their LinkedIn or creating posts or putting down their successes when they get a credential on their LinkedIn accounts, which I think is great. Just letting people know, hey, you're studying hard, you've achieved something, what is new, and then you can always link that to the UiPath community as well. So this is just some best practices on how to go about doing that. Like typically we like people to use 200 characters with spaces and not do any longer post. And so this just goes into some of those details. Also, to be connected to the UiPath community, things to remember are just use hashtags at the end of your post for UiPath DevConnect, pound Agentic Automation, and pound UiPath Community. I'll be putting actually a LinkedIn out today and connecting to these very same hashtags when I do that about the event we had last week with DevConnect. So look forward to that. But also feel free to just LinkedIn to me, and you'll see some of those posts come through, get more of the spirit of how many posts come through with UiPath and the kinds of things that you can participate in, have fun with, join, that kind of thing. So one of the reasons I'm going through the slide deck too is part of this. I'm not only copying this or videotaping this session, but at the end of this, I will make sure that when you go back to where you registered today for this session, you will be able to get this presentation starting tomorrow, plus the videotape of this session. So, again, this is a hashtag of do it for the connections, do it for the content, just do it. So, people like posting things socially. This is our URL to do that. Okay. And then these are two of our MVPs that presented in at DevConnect San Francisco. So I'm going to stop this part of the presentation and just ask for questions for a minute. Um, Again, we have quite a few MVPs that are part of our agentic paths here at UiPath. And a lot of them have built use cases. They have just started getting involved in this and using this on projects within their own organizations. So I just want to stop a minute because I think part of the developer group, this user group, is really for people to network and talk together. So I just want to open it up again for questions. What would you guys like to see as part of this developer group? What are the kinds of things that you think would be valuable? Because that's my job, is to make sure that I provide that for you. So can everybody unmute, and can anybody or raise their hand and let me know if they have any ideas of what they'd like to see? You're all shy.
I don't see a learning plan on UiPath Academy for Agentic. Is there a plan to do that?
There is. It should be ready, I think, the end of July. So it
Okay.
should be coming out really quick. There are two agentic courses up there already that you can start taking if you just look up under agentic. I would start taking those, and then I heard that they should have that like within a week or two. So when they do that, they'll start promoting it. And my guess is our team will have a series on that so that you can go through it with the experts, so that in that way you can ask any questions you want, and if you want it, or you can just listen to the recordings, however you want to do it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I really want to separate the marketing from the actual how do we do this?
Right. And, as part of this group, that isn't our intent to do a marketing push or anything else. This is a true developer group. So my intent here is something that is a little bit unusual for companies, which is bring the product group directly to you guys. And or, you are part of the product group and you just want to participate with people who are part of the community. So I think it's really important that we just have a group that wants to learn agentic, that they can talk to each other, that can ask questions. And this goes up to people that, were presenting last week. They're very interested in being part of this series. And I'm going to be scheduling them future sessions at least once a month, but I hope maybe twice a month. So I'm going to take you to the web next and just show you where you can find that information. But is there anything else people just really want to know about other than having topics come from the UiPath team? Are you guys interested in workshops
Yep,
virtually?
Diana, would love to.
Okay, great.
And I think I'm just echoing Ken that there were some use cases. So as part of the community meet at Bangalore, we did see a couple of use cases. But then I always say this: our knowledge is limited to our use case. So if we have diverse use cases as part of those workshops, that will be very helpful.
Okay, good. So why don't I
And
do,
one,
yeah, why don't we do
sorry to.
one session just on use cases? And then
Mhm.
maybe what I could do is put them all together so you guys know where to go get them.
All right. Thanks, Diana. And I was part of a couple of previous certification programs like the specialized AI one. So, do I have a confirmation if we are a part of this meeting? Do we have a confirmed ticket for Agentic Automation Associate certification? Is that a fact?
You don't have a confirmed ticket for any certification unless you get certified by Pearson VUE. Uh,
Right. I mean, for the voucher at least,
oh,
because
yeah,
I
we'll
was a
always let
little.
people into our workshop. So, of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
All
not
right.
a
Wonderful.
problem. Yeah.
Because I mean, as a usual format, I believe there will be a course I have to finish in a stipulated time. I think this is between July 28th to October 28th.
Oh, okay. So Muhammad, so what you're asking me is number one, can we create a series maybe or a workshop on agentic? Is that what you're
Mm-hmm,
asking?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And
Thanks,
did you
Diana.
want that to follow the courses or do you want it just to be what the product leaders are doing right now, like with building agents or
I would say the product leaders they're doing right now. That is because I believe there will be more of that will be more of real-time use cases.
okay. So I'll talk to Zach and Scott about that and see if they can
Mm-hmm.
do that. Maybe just do
Sure,
an
Diana.
online workshop and just go a little bit slower than we did in Dev Connect so that you guys
Mm-hmm.
have time to kind of go through that. We do have a group, David Hernandez, who actually they built a workshop, so I can talk to him. I have a meeting with him later today too, just to see if we can do all that online because I think that would be really useful. And also even if you've been through it once, I think going through it again doesn't hurt you because I think you'll just be wiser to ask different questions, right?
Indeed, indeed.
Okay.
Thanks, Diana.
Yep. So this is the way I want you guys to talk to the product leaders because this is really what they need. They need just for you guys to ask the questions, tell them what you want, how do you want to engage? This is really critical in order for you to get what you need and for them to be able, they're going to be like that with you too. They're going to ask you questions like, what do you think of this product? Or what do you think you can improve on? And don't be shy about telling them. Because this just makes it better for you and better for us. So that's kind of the situation we're in right now is trying to like get really close to our customer base and our partners and our employees in our community just to say, hey, we're all in this together. So how can we help you? How can you help us? Kind of thing. But it's great when people speak up. I think it's really helpful. All right. Um, Anybody else? Anything they can think of they'd like to hear about? Anybody in particular that you guys know about you want to hear about?
Well, I mean, the interactivity and the difference between, what you guys consider to be agentic AI versus the extensibility of the integrations that might go to, OpenAI, via Azure.
Okay. All right.
Hey Diana, it's Tracy. I personally would like to see an example of a orchestration with a custom agent. We have one here where I work, but I definitely do not know how to implement that on my own quite yet.
Okay, so and you guys can feel free to like either put these in chat, these questions too, to make sure I capture them correctly. I am trying to capture them, by the way. And or just email me directly. So one thing I'm going to do really quick is just put my email in the chat. So you guys can just email me if you don't know where I'm at. That's great, Tracy. And then what do you guys think about Maestro? Do you need to learn more about that directly?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think we all see that, UiPath moving towards Maestro is the future. I mean, we understand that agentic is not going to knock standard automations out of the way, but I
Yeah.
believe that Maestro, in our understanding, is going to knock Orchestrator out of the way. So, I mean, I think that would be a cleaner understanding for us, which is going to be the future, or is it going to be both?
Okay. Let me put that down. Good. Okay.
And
Great. So bring
how does
somebody in for that.
sorry, how does Maestro work with Microsoft's agentic strategy?
Good question. So, one of the thing I'm gonna do, Drew, is I'm gonna ask Sandeep to come in and talk because he's our lead with Microsoft. And he'll be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
And
He also
and
did a really good
one
job at DevConnect, just so you know. just showing you too, like where this goes after, it's one thing to look at how to build an agent and one thing to look at like when you're just playing around on, doing a use case on the platform, but it's a whole nother thing to see the big picture. And I think Sandeep really brought that to light, at the last DevConnect. So I'll ask him to talk.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would also like to understand if there is a connection with SAP, how it's working. It's more of a testing and automation part, or the agentic framework is also coming into partnership with SAP.
Okay,
that. Yes,
Rajesh.
Rajesh here.
Yep, and I have two experts on that I'll bring in. That's Amit and Pankaj. They're actually MVPs that work with SAP. So I've got that listed. Good.
Thank you.
But so far you guys have like pulled out like almost, it's kind of funny, like all the experts that I'm aware of, and there may be more that will come up. Okay, this is awesome. Because I think what's going to happen is one by one, we're going to pull these guys in. And I think all these parts are very important. This will not only give our staff time to talk to you all, but then the other thing I think I'll bring into is some of the academic people to talk about the courses and how those align with everything when they're releasing these agentic courses. Okay. That's good, Rajesh. Thank you. And then I might bring in some of our other MVPs. I had a couple of them do just use cases on Agentic, just so that you guys hear from a customer point of view, a partner point of view, kind of why are they going to use Agentic and what benefit does it provide to them? And I think those examples would be beneficial. Do you guys agree?
Yep, Diana.
Okay, great. Agentic. Okay, got that. Great. All right, great. So I'm gonna go. You guys keep thinking of things to tell me, and then I'm just gonna go back and show you the website a little bit because I want to make sure that you know how to get to what we're gonna to the right events. So basically, I'm just going to do all this in one chapter. It's the America chapter. So, and anybody's welcome to join. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. But basically, how you get there is community.uipath.com. You're going to go to the bottom of the screen and you're going to see the global and virtual. And under that, there's going to be America. Under America, this chapter, if you guys could all please join, I'm going to put this in the events tab. Once you join, you should get notices. And what I will do is I will make sure that I always label these as DevConnect events so that you know it's a DevConnect event. And then what I will also try to do if I have more than one is I'll let you know when the next one is going to be. So I plan on scheduling one for a month from now, but you can see the other nice thing about joining this chapter is that when you do, you're going to see what events are coming up. So we have DevConnect 2025. This was my 2 events, so those are done now. But what else we will have is that we'll have anything that we promoted, the past events. If you go here, you're going to see where you will get the recordings and any presentations. So what I'm going to do for this session today that I am recording is I'm going to provide you with whole DevConnect event presentation. I'm going to wrap it and post it so that might give you guys more information on additional things that you would like to hear about. So I will wrap the San Francisco event. There was a lot of information in that, and I'm going to go through a little bit of it here from the community part, a little bit more, but basically we can keep adding to this this information so that whenever you want, you can go back to the past events and find any DevConnect, then user group meeting And you'll find all the documentation there. You won't have to worry about whether you get it or if you have to miss a session and have registered, you will be able to get the information. So that's one thing. So let me go back here. So these are the two I was talking about, Amit and Pankaj. They were in San Francisco. They're experts on SAP. Pankaj is the founder of Silicon Partners. These guys have been working with the UiPath team for a long time. I'll also reach out to our SAP team to see what they want to do. So this is one group of presentation, a meeting that I'll host for you guys. They're really great. And then another one will be Sandeep. Sandeep is a part of our Tech Alliance team. He works up in Seattle, and he's amazing. He's again works with Google and Microsoft, so you should be able to ask him some cool questions about how this all aligns in the bigger picture. I think you'll really enjoy his presentation. So let me go here just real quick. So again, the whole point of this is really to put this together for you. The idea came about when we started doing DevConnect, but the senior leadership is very serious about this. So all the way up at the highest levels, they are going to help me schedule these events for you. I think that says a lot about UiPath, and it says a lot about what they want to do for America. So I'm really happy to let you guys know that. So you will have monthly updates. There will at least be one user group per month, and I'll try to schedule a couple in a row so that you guys always know when the next one is. And then if please, think of how you can develop a great idea for agentic automation and reach out to us. So if you're in a company or you guys have a great idea and want to talk to somebody at UiPath about your idea, I will make that happen. We will work to get that, have a private meeting with you, or if you want somebody, let's say your group at your company has an idea and they want a workshop just at your company, that they want to build a use case and they need some help from UiPath. We can make that happen too. So nothing's out of the question here. We really are here to support you. And that's not a marketing pitch or a sales pitch. It's how can you use our help and how can we make sure that happens? Just so you know. So I do have some URLs here that are going to be available when I wrap this today and record it. But this one really talks about the Agentic launch replay. This is from the May 29th events at DevCon. And this was really impactful, really great information. We also have an Agentic Automation blog. So that should be updated with the latest content. This in particular was about the power of 10. So you guys can read about that. And then we have a research report. We have the developer's path to agentic automation. That's a whole new area that they created. And then, of course, the UiPath community, where we're going to continue to post things about agentic, participate in agentic, and then hear from you on how we can engage you with agentic or what you guys would like to see from us, in the future. Let's see. So this was the user group for today. I will make sure that I get Zach, and I apologize for that. That was actually my mistake. Zach and Scott on another call. Hopefully the first one that we do next coming out. And again, we want to just make sure that we give you guys a sneak preview of the products. That's what Zach and Scott will do. We want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to do peer use case sharing, that you can co-innovate with UiPath on use cases. So when you have questions or just something's not working right, you have a quick line to let them know that and then get some help on how to fix that or move around it or get a suggestion from them on what to do and how to go forward. We also do have YouTube videos, presentations, and event recordings. But in addition to that, in America, I've asked my MVPs to build use cases and make those available. So I think there's already 3 posted. I'll make sure I get those to you guys. And we'll start there. And then if you guys want to add more, we can do that as well. We love to promote people and their work. So happy to do that. Let's see. And then access to any recommended news, any updates, what's happening. This group will be sure that we keep you guys up to date on what is happening with Agentic because it's very important for us, and I know it is for you. And then we just like to emphasize that it's really important to grow your network with like-minded people. Automation, and I think is a big play here. And I think UiPath is really suited to promote that aspect. And the fact that they're willing to let their product leaders talk to the community in America, again, just speaks volumes for them. So I'm just really happy to let you know that they've all agreed up and down the line that that's something that they want to do. And then again, we have expert-led agentic training. UiPath provides that for free. That's amazing. There will be 9 courses in the series. It's coming out soon, and I will keep you guys posted on when that is. And then I can send emails to this user group. So if the agentic training comes out and I know it, I'll send out an email, let you guys know. So I will not try to bombard you with emails, but important things I can let you know about. And then we will establish, once we get a number of people on a couple of these, I'm going to establish a UiPath forum, which 2 or 3 sessions in, we'll ask you guys to go ahead and sign up for if you're interested in that. You don't have to, but I think it would help you. So that's something else we hope to do. And then hopefully we can have our own challenges or ideas or brainstorming sessions through that. And then lastly, this was something we did on DevConnect, but if the same thing goes with not only DevConnect, but the DevConnect user group. If you have any way that we can improve the experience of this, just let me know or send something to this code and you could that opens you up to be able to win a $25 gift card if you're interested. So that's still open for the rest of this week for you. So if you guys want to scan that, again, you'll have another opportunity because I will have this posted tomorrow as part of the recording. You'll see this in that section as well. So I'm going to stop sharing again. Okay. And then there's just one last thing I would like to do before I open it up again, which is I just want to make sure you guys know again where you can find this recording. And I'm just going to send you the direct URL. So while I'm doing that, if you guys have any questions, please ask them.
And I've been answering the questions throughout in the chat. We're talking about the typical implementation team right now.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Tracy.
Sure.
So are you guys excited about this? Is this yeah, something you're interested in? Hopefully.
Yep, Diana, excited and definitely interested in. I mean, once the training session starts, I'm sure, I mean, I don't have any questions for now though, but I'm sure I'll have some when we start the actual training.
Okay, so it sounds like one of the important things is to do some kind of workshop to get you guys going together, right? That sounds like a good idea. Let me talk to David today and see when I can schedule that. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, maybe a getting started session where
Yeah.
you determine what licenses are you going to need, what has to be in place before you can actually start playing with it.
Well,
Okay.
and on top of what Drew's saying is that, what does it take to start from scratch? And then what does it take to migrate from a regular automation into an agentic? And is that even appropriate, right? Is it appropriate to stay with a standard a standard automation, pop out, do something agentic, and then pop back into that linear flow? Or is it best to be able to start fresh? I think that's a discussion we would love to have.
That makes total sense. Okay. I love that.
And maybe has anybody tried to do this with end users or power users? Because that's the magic of agentic, right? Is actually engaging the workforce and taking advantage of their programming skills if they've got, whatever they have, right?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think first, don't we need, because I had this happen the other day, I think we need a definition of what agentic truly means to the business, right? I think we kind of had a concept of what agentic means in a technical realm, but what does that mean to the business? And how do we explain that to the business, the value of agentic versus automation, right? Because that's the key. You want to get to citizen development like what Drew's speaking to. You can't get to that unless you can explain the value proposition first. So that's where we need to get on the front end of that.
And this is Brian Lamb.
Okay.
I'm going to chime in here real quick. As you may or may not know, I'm a top ranked instructor in UiPath, and I'm working on an agentic course. I've had my hands on it. I've used it. And one big takeaway you should all start being aware of is that agentic isn't magic, and it really is more of a contemplative planning mechanism that can make decisions, but the actual hands and feet of work that gets done, processes that occur and whatnot, are going to be what they call tools. And the tools involve, at the minimum, automations. So those automations you've been building, RPA automations, they don't go away in many use cases. You're pretty much going to be wiring up a Maestro BPMN flowchart that integrates agents with existing automations, but they usually aren't going to be the typical existing automations that you've been using. It's going to be more along the lines of micro automations that can do certain things that facilitate the decision-making of the agents and whatnot. So to the person who made the comment earlier about an orchestrator going away, that's definitely not true. The BPMN Maestro layer is simply a veneer on top of orchestrator. So orchestrator is still under the covers, and anything that occurs in Maestro is essentially under the covers an orchestrator job that's still running. The important weakness of this whole Maestro thing is that, contrary to the way we used to, create a queue and have multiple robot VDIs being able to work parallel, you can't really do that in Maestro. Maestro is all about setting up an end-to-end process where agents and or automations will collaborate to do some long-running end-to-end process. And any particular step that might be an automation that the agent is using to do the hands and feet work, like I said, is only going to be able to use one robot VDI. There's no sense of Maestro being able to engage a fleet of parallel robot VDIs to work on something. That's kind of more of that queue paradigm, and that's the traditional classic robots you would do. So this whole notion of Maestro and agents collaborating with robots is a paradigm shift in thinking. You got to completely think about differently about how you do work. And it's more of a supplementary thing and not a replacement for traditional automations.
Thank you, Brian, for that. So, great conversation. I just put in the chat where you can go for the recording and the, that I'm just, all that stuff tomorrow. I think I have a really good list, of kind of what you guys are looking for to start this. So I hope after, hopefully next, week after next, I will have something out to you on where we can go, from here. Chat is session. And I really appreciate you guys speaking up and letting me know, kind of, and also just commenting. I mean, Brian, that was great. You spoke out, because I think this is a way we all learn. So I think it's great when you guys speak out. We really do understand then where you're going, what you need more of, how we can help. And this is going to be so valuable when we really get going with these meetings. Each one of these people obviously has a different perspective on what agentic is and how it fits their role within UiPath, but I think that goes across the board for all of us. So people have to look at things from a different point of view. So let me just see. Let me just see. So Scott and Zach, you didn't join the call, did you? Just make sure. Scott did reach out to me and he said he just had a host of other calls. I know they're super excited to talk to you guys. It was, again, my fault that they're not on the call today. So there was just a lot going. We just got off DevConnect last week and then I got really sick. So I apologize for that. But we will definitely make sure we get back on schedule with that, with this, and definitely come back and answer some of your questions in a way that hopefully will help over time. So I like the idea of starting with a workshop and just getting going with that. And then we will take it from there on getting some answers to some of the questions you guys have, but also just ways to interact with each other, making sure that you guys have access to the latest tools, and just really candid answers to the questions that you have. So with that, I think, do you guys have any other questions for me before I close it out? And then I'll just start working on getting the sessions for the future put in place. Okay. Well, thank you for joining today. I really appreciate it. And again, I will get this recording out with the questions, with the presentation template, and we'll get rolling on this soon. So really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diana.
Uh-huh.
Also, Diana, Karthik here. I mean, if you need any, I mean, I will also connect with you.
Oh,
I can
great.
come up with more help on this event as well.
Thank you, Karthik.
Yep.
It's good seeing you. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So with that, I'm just going to stop the recording.